I never thought I'd be the kind of person who would say, "This really happened to me." But what I'm about to tell you still keeps me awake at night, even years later. This started when I was 24 years old, living alone in a small rented apartment just outside the city. The place wasn't fancy, thin walls, old plumbing, and a landlord who only showed up when rent was due. But it was cheap, and more importantly, it felt safe. At least, it did at first. I worked long hours at a warehouse, usually night shifts, which meant I slept during the day. My routine rarely changed. I'd come home around 3 a.m., lock the door, double-check the windows, and crash until noon. Life was simple, predictable, and quiet. Then one morning, I noticed something strange. When I woke up, my bedroom door was open. That might not sound like a big deal, but I always slept with it closed. Always. It was a habit I picked up as a kid. Closed doors made me feel secure. I clearly remembered shutting it before going to bed. I brushed it off. Maybe I forgot. Maybe I was more tired than I thought. But over the next few weeks, little things kept happening. I'd come home and find my bathroom light on, even though I never used it at night. My kitchen chair would be slightly pulled out, like someone had just stood up. Once, my phone charger, something I never moved, was unplugged and lying on the counter. Every time, I tried to rationalize it. "You're exhausted. You're imagining things. You're just paranoid." That excuse worked, until the night I heard breathing. I was lying in bed, scrolling on my phone, when I heard it. Slow. Quiet. Not my own. At first, I thought it was coming from outside. The building was old, and sound traveled easily. But then I realized something that made my stomach tighten. The breathing was inside my room. It wasn't loud. It wasn't aggressive. It sounded like someone standing very still, trying not to be noticed. I froze. I didn't move. I didn't turn my head. I didn't even blink. I just listened. After a few seconds, the breathing stopped. Then I heard a soft click. My bedroom door, closing. I stayed awake the entire night with the lights on. By morning, I had convinced myself it was sleep paralysis or stress. But deep down, something felt wrong in a way I couldn't explain. That same day, I ordered a cheap home security camera online. I told myself it was just for peace of mind. The camera arrived 2 days later. It wasn't fancy, just a small black cube with motion detection and night vision. I set it up in my living room, facing the hallway that led to my bedroom and bathroom. I didn't tell anyone about it. I didn't even tell my landlord. I just plugged it in, synced it to my phone, and went to work. That night, nothing happened. No alerts. No movement. I started to relax again. Until 3 nights later. I was at work when my phone buzzed with a notification. Motion detected, 2:13 a.m. My heart skipped. That was strange. I was supposed to be home asleep at that time. I opened the app. At first, I didn't see anything unusual. The hallway was dark, lit only by moonlight through the window. Everything looked normal. Then, something moved. A shadow slid across the wall. Slow. Careful. Then a man stepped into view. He was tall, wearing dark clothes and gloves. His face was partially covered by a hood, but I could see enough to know one thing for sure. I had never seen him before. He stood there, completely still, like he was listening. Then he turned his head, and looked directly into the camera. I dropped my phone. I don't remember driving home. I don't remember how fast I was going. I only remember my hands shaking so badly I could barely hold the steering wheel. When I reached my apartment, police cars were already outside. Turns out, the man had triggered the camera again while I was on my way. The app sent the footage directly to the cloud, and I had automatically shared access with my sister as a backup. She called the police when she saw it. They searched the apartment thoroughly. No one was there. No forced entry. No broken locks. No open windows. But in my bedroom closet, behind a stack of boxes I never used, they found something that made my blood run cold. A second camera. Much smaller. Much better quality. Hidden between two shelves. Pointed directly at my bed. The police confiscated it immediately. They told me it had been professionally installed. Whoever put it there knew exactly what they were doing. When I asked how long it had been there, one officer looked at me and hesitated. Then he said, "Long enough." I moved out the next day. But that wasn't the end of it. A week later, I received an email from an unknown address. No subject line. Just a single sentence. "You should have smiled more." Attached was a video file. I never opened it. And to this day, I still don't know how long someone was watching me sleep. Or how many nights they stood in the dark, breathing quietly, while I pretended everything was normal. My wife and I had just moved into a quiet suburban neighborhood when our son was born. It was the kind of place people described as safe. Tree-lined streets, friendly neighbors, and almost no crime. We were exhausted, like all new parents. Sleepless nights blurred together, and most days felt like survival mode. That's why we decided to install a baby monitor with a camera. It wasn't because we were paranoid. We just wanted a little peace of mind. The monitor connected to an app on my phone and recorded short clips whenever it detected movement or sound. We placed it on a shelf across from the crib, angled slightly downward. Every night before bed, I checked the feed. Every night, everything looked normal. Until one morning, when I noticed a clip I didn't remember seeing before. The clip was time-stamped 2:41 a.m. I watched our son sleeping peacefully in his crib, wrapped in his blanket. The room glowed that dull green color from the night vision. Nothing seemed off at first. Then I noticed the rocking chair. It was moving. Slowly. Back and forth. No one was sitting in it. At first, I assumed it was air from the vent or maybe a delayed movement from earlier. But something about the timing bothered me. I checked the rest of the footage from that night. That's when I saw the second clip. This one started with the nursery door opening. The door creaked open just a few inches. Then a man stepped inside. He was tall and thin, wearing dark clothes that blended into the shadows. His face was mostly hidden, angled downward as if he knew exactly where the camera was. He moved slowly, carefully. Like he had done this before. He stood next to the crib for several seconds. Not touching. Not speaking. Just standing there, watching our son sleep. My hand started shaking so badly I had to pause the video. When I played it again, the man turned slightly, reached toward the camera. And the clip cut off. I woke my wife immediately. We checked every lock, every window, every room in the house. Nothing was disturbed. Nothing was missing. That night, I stayed awake in the living room with the lights off, watching the live feed on my phone. At 2:38 a.m., my phone vibrated. Motion detected. I looked at the screen. The nursery was empty. The crib was still. But the rocking chair was moving again. Slow. Controlled. As if someone had just stood up and stepped out of frame. I ran down the hallway. The nursery was empty. But the air felt cold. And the attic access panel in the hallway closet was slightly open. The police arrived within minutes. They searched the attic crawl space and found food wrappers, empty water bottles, and a thin blanket tucked into the insulation. Someone had been living there. Watching us. Watching our son. The officer told us the man likely entered through the roof vent and climbed down when he knew we were asleep. Before they left, one officer asked me to check the baby monitor's storage one last time. There was a new clip. Time-stamped 5 minutes earlier. The camera showed the nursery from the same angle as always. But this time, the man was standing directly in front of the camera. Staring into the lens. Smiling. We moved out the next day. We deleted the app. We threw the monitor away. But sometimes, late at night, my phone still buzzes with phantom vibrations. And every time it does, I can't stop wondering. What if we never installed the camera? How long would he have stayed hidden, watching from the dark? I work as a freelance video editor, which means most of my life happens in front of a laptop. Late nights. Headphones on. Lights off. Just me and the screen. I lived alone in a small apartment downtown, and I liked it that way. No roommates. No interruptions. I kept my routine tight and predictable. Every night, I worked until around 1 a.m., shut the laptop, locked the door, and went straight to bed. Nothing ever felt out of place. Until one night, when I opened my laptop and saw a folder I didn't remember creating. The folder was on my desktop. It was named backup_02. At first, I assumed it was something my editing software created automatically. But when I right-clicked it, the date didn't make sense. It said the folder was created at 3:17 a.m. I was asleep at that time. I opened it. Inside were video files. Dozens of them. All labeled with dates. All time-stamped between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. That's when I noticed something that made my stomach drop. Every date matched nights I had been home. I clicked the first video. The screen switched to grainy night vision footage. It took me a second to understand what I was looking at. Then I realized. It was my living room. My couch. My coffee table. My jacket hanging over the chair. And on the couch. Me. Asleep. The angle was wrong. Too high. Like the camera was mounted near the ceiling. I watched myself shift in my sleep. Scratch my arm. Roll onto my side. The video ended after 5 minutes. Hands shaking, I opened another file. This one showed my bedroom. I was lying in bed, facing the wall. The room was dark except for faint city light through the blinds. Everything looked normal. Until I noticed the mirror on my closet door. There was a reflection behind the camera. A shape. Tall. Still. Standing where no one should have been. I paused the video and leaned closer to the screen. The figure's face wasn't clear, but I could tell it was watching me. Not the camera. Me. I slammed the laptop shut and didn't sleep at all that night. The next morning, I called the police. The police searched my apartment. They found a small camera hidden inside a smoke detector in my living room. Another one behind an air vent in the bedroom. Both were professionally installed. When they checked my laptop again, there was one new file in the folder. Time-stamped 4:12 a.m. An officer clicked it open. The footage showed my apartment, empty. No one inside. Then the camera moved. Slowly. Like someone was holding it. It turned toward my desk. Toward my laptop. The video ended with my screen glowing in the dark. The folder, backup_02, open. The police never found who did it. They never found where the footage was being uploaded from. I moved out. I bought a new laptop. I destroyed the old one. But sometimes, when I wake up in the middle of the night, my new laptop screen is warm. And there's a folder on the desktop that I swear wasn't there before.